Deep in an old forest, a young fox hadn't eaten in 2 days. His stomach growled so loud that a sparrow above him flew away startled. "Quiet," the fox muttered to his own belly. "I'm working on it." He wandered until he found a fat, lazy crow sitting on a low branch guarding a pile of walnuts he'd collected all autumn. "Those are mine," the fox said, licking his lips. "Leave them to me or I'll climb up there and take them myself." The crow tilted his head, completely calm. "Why climb," he said, "when I can just drop them?" The fox blinked. "You'll just give them to me?" "Sure," said the crow. "Open your mouth wide. I'll drop every nut straight in. Free dinner, no work at all." The fox couldn't believe his luck. He sat under the branch, tilted his head back, and opened his mouth as wide as it would go. "Ready," he said. The crow picked up the first walnut and dropped it. It didn't land in the fox's mouth. It landed directly on his nose. Crack! "Ow!" the fox yelped, rubbing his face. "That hurt." "Oops," said the crow, not sounding sorry at all. "Missed. Let's try again." The second nut hit him square between the eyes. The third bounced off his ear. By the fifth nut, the fox was covered in bumps, and the crow had eaten 3 walnuts himself while aiming. The fox finally ran off, holding his throbbing head, while the crow laughed from the branch above. Hours later, hungrier and sorer than before, the fox met a slow-moving badger dragging a wheelbarrow full of ripe apples. "Give me those apples," the fox growled. Or nothing," the badger said with a shrug. "Here's a better idea. Hop inside the wheelbarrow. I'm heading straight past the orchard gate. I'll wheel you right up to the biggest apple tree in the whole forest. You won't lift a paw." A free ride and a mountain of apples? The fox couldn't resist. He jumped in. "Comfortable?" the badger asked. "Very," the fox grinned. The badger started walking, faster and faster and faster, straight towards a farmhouse at the edge of the forest where 3 enormous farm dogs were tied up in the yard. The fox sat up just in time to see where they were headed. "Wait, this isn't the orchard." "Nope," said the badger, tipping the wheelbarrow over. "It's dinner, just not yours." The fox tumbled out right in front of the dogs, who exploded into barking and chasing. He ran faster than he'd ever run in his life, leaping over a fence, diving into a thorn bush, and finally collapsing behind a fallen log, exhausted, scratched, and still hungry. He lay there catching his breath and started laughing at himself. A crow who drops food? A badger who gives rides? Of course it was too good to be true. Nothing free is ever really free. That night, the fox finally caught his own dinner, a plain, unglamorous vole he had to dig for and chase down himself. It wasn't handed to him, it wasn't easy, but it was his, earned with his own effort, and it tasted better than any walnut or apple ever could have. Here's the truth this fox learned the hard way. When something looks effortless, when someone offers you a shortcut with no work attached, slow down before you take it. The easiest looking path is often the trap in disguise. Real progress, the kind that actually feeds you, almost always comes from the work you were trying to skip. Before you jump at the easy option, pause, ask what it's really costing you. Sometimes the slower road is the only one that gets you home safe.
If this story gave you something to think about, like the video. Drop a comment telling me which animal you'd have trusted, the crow or the badger, and subscribe for more stories like this every week.